get started, you see there on the right-hand side of your screen, Packers CEO Mark Murphy is in the room. He's expected to go up to the microphone and speak very shortly. But this is the first time, of course, that this really big event will be held in such a small city. And there's a lot of talk about how the city can do that. And, of course, there's going to be bleed over into the entire state as far as an economic impact of this event.
And just to put some numbers in here to kind of put it into perspective, Green Bay, only 106,000 people. Hotel rooms, 4,600. So
if you have a room.
Yes. Or if you want to start booking, now is the time, because that really is going to be the focus, though, is, you know, where are people going to stay, the logistics of it. Of course, this is going to be really big just for the state of Wisconsin. The same thing, I think we talked about it before, with Milwaukee and the DNC and the RNC. You're going to have people kind of just bleed over into other parts of the state.
And more events like this with the Ryder Cup that happened a couple summers ago up in that area, Sheboygan at least. They had people staying all over the place, including Green Bay, including up at hotels right around Lambeau Field. Lambeau Field, Titletown, is where this is all expected to go down. This is where all the events will happen. They have something called the Draft Experience, where the fans can take part in that, and that's going to be held mostly on the Titletown grounds.
Yeah, we heard the NFL Commissioner, Roger Goodell. He said something, a quote here, that said fans will be treated to an incredible week-long experience in the city of Green Bay and the state of Wisconsin. And we know that this is years in the making. Of course, this takes a draft committee to put out some sort of bid and a plan. So they have been asking for this for a while, and finally, it's here.
Yeah, most recently, the draft, as you may remember, was in Kansas City back in April. So, of course, this will be an event in April in Green Bay, which means the weather could be all over the place, anywhere from, you know, around 0 degrees to 70 degrees. Who knows in April in Green Bay? But the frozen tundra has played home to many big NFL events over the years, mostly games and playoff games, but again, now will be part of this NFL draft experience as well.
Pack that jacket, maybe some shorts. You never know what you might need. But speaking of Kansas City, we know that 312,000 fans and more than 54 million viewers just over the course of 3 days for the NFL draft. So we're talking about a lot of people here, a lot of eyes on Green Bay. Maybe people, of course, people know Green Bay because you know the Packers, but don't necessarily know the city, the people there. So what a great experience for them, as well as the businesses. Just a big economic impact, big growth, hopefully, that it'll, you know, snowball into.
Green Bay is one of those venues, Lambeau Field, one of those venues, even as an away team,
right?
Like people want to come see a game in the frozen tundra. And we should know that this is not the first time it's been in Wisconsin. It happened back in 1939. The 1940 draft was held right here in Milwaukee. And so now we'll have it for the second time in Green Bay coming up in 2025. We'll head to the podium here at Lambeau Field and give a listen in for the big announcement today and more details about what's expected in the coming years.
Come on, Aaron, let's get started.
Well, good morning. We were, some of our TVs had asked for a little heads up, so we hit the 30-second mark. On Mark's cue, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Lambeau Field for this exciting discussion we're going to have today. Of course, appreciate everyone taking the time out of their schedules to join us this morning. Boy, what a great announcement Monday by the NFL for our community and for our state. I know everybody that's been involved is really excited about it. A little bit of housekeeping up here. We're going to have some speakers with some prepared remarks, and then we'll take some questions here at the podium afterward. And then after that, if we have some time, we'll be able to do some follow-ups, perhaps off to the side. And as you may expect, we've had a lot of interest in this announcement, which is fantastic. But I want to place some realistic expectations on some of the information we'll be able to discuss today. We'll talk about the announcement, what it means to the community and the state. As far as details about the event itself, a lot of those will come later. So I just ask for everyone's patience. You know, we've had questions about parking and public safety and, you know, where are the gates going to be and those types of things. So planning at that level of detail will be down the road. So I know there's some questions along those lines, but today our goal is to talk about the announcement itself, and those details will come into later focus. So I just hope everybody understands that. And believe me, we'll have a lot of great stories to talk about during this 2-year process. 2 years. We have a 2-year ramp up to this. So settle in and we'll be ready to go. Want to welcome some, well, we've got a number of guests here today. Streckenbach, Brown County Executive, is here today. I know we've got some other local leaders at that level, so thank you for your support in coming today and your ongoing support and cooperation. Our Stadium District Board has been very helpful throughout this process. I know our chair is here, Leah Weicker, and Barb Dorff is here. I know we had some other members that were going to try and make it too. Vice Chair Keith Lucius was maybe going to come, but our whole board, including Chad Weininger, Mark Grahl, Bill Galvin, current director Brian Dworak, and our former director Pat Webb, he's here with Diane Roscom and the Stadium District Board team. Rob Coles, of course, is on that board. And at the state level, we've been certainly received a lot of help and support, and we've got some considerations that are taking place at the state level to help support the event as well. And Area Representative David Steffen is here. We thank Dave for his leading the support. Rob Coles on the Senate side is leading the support as well. We've got Representative Peter Schmidt is here. We thank him and others who have been very helpful. Christina Shelton, Senator Eric Wimberger, Andre Jacques, Senator Rachel Cabral Guevara, Representatives Joel Kitchens, Elijah Benke, Rob Swearingen, Dave Murphy, Paul Tittle, Bob Whitkey, Gay Magnifici, Ty Bowden, and Angie Sapir have been helpful. And a teammate of ours down in Madison, Jim Steineke, has been helpful. And from Governor Evers' office, Carl is here today. I don't know if I saw him come in, but Governor has been very supportive as well. So at the state level, a lot of great support, and we are excited to continue this process. And with that, I think a lot of you have probably already seen this video that our team put together, but I thought we would play it again to give us a little sample of what is to come.
This is Green Bay. This is Title Town. It's small town America. It's blue collar America. There's nobody that matches up with this place right here.
The Packers represent something very unique in the NFL.
And the fact that it's
speak for a lot of us that grew up in the area who, certainly grew up following the Packers and as fans and maybe dreaming about playing for the Packers, but also even part of that, like having your name called on draft day as being selected by the Packers. And as an organization, as a community, to have that event take place here in 2025 is going to be very exciting and very special. So with that, I would like to invite the gentleman who had this process in mind and led us through it to make some remarks. Packers President, CEO, Mark Murphy.
Thank you, Aaron, and welcome everybody. It has been a great week, not only for the Packers, but the greater Green Bay community, and actually really the entire state of Wisconsin. Packers, as we've said, are not only excited about this, but we're also honored to be selected to host the 2025 draft right here in Green Bay and Wisconsin. And we greatly appreciate the work of so many people within the organization, but do want to give special mention to Gabrielle, who has led the effort for us. It's been a long journey, and we'll talk a little bit about the time, but I think everybody has shown patience and persistence, and it's great to. There have been many times we thought we were close, and it's great to be here, and it was great to have the announcement officially come from the league on Monday. Our others, certainly a lot of people within the organization deserve credit, but particularly I want to recognize Megan Roberson, Candy Goltz. I know Candy is here. Aaron Popke. Aaron's been integral to this effort. Craig Schilbauer, Joan Malcheski, Julie Leung, Charlie Millerwise, and so many others. And we've got, it's actually a little less than 2 years before we'll be hosting this draft. It's a lot of work, and that team will certainly grow over the next 2 years. And I anticipate that everybody within the organization at some point is going to have some involvement in this effort. I also want to give special credit. I mean, this is something, and we've been literally working on since 2016. And our senior staff, our senior leadership team, Ed Policy has been integral to that effort. Paul Baniel. Paul will be retiring soon, and this will be part of his legacy that we were able to bring the draft in, announced under during his tenure here. Russ Ball, Craig Benzel. You're going to have to excuse me. I'm going to thank a lot of people here because it takes a village to bring a draft to Green Bay. And but other members of the senior staff mentioned Craig Benzel, Nicole Ledvina, Jason Wallers, and obviously Gabrielle is also a part of the senior staff. Packers Executive Committee has been very supportive of this, Executive Committee of our board, led by initially Tom Olson, did a great job for us, and now Susan Finko. I also do want to give special mention to Mark McMullen. I think a lot of you know what a obviously great person Mark was. Our longtime treasurer, member of our executive committee. He was integral in this effort, and it's really sad that he's not here to see this today, but Mark deserves an awful lot of credit for all the work that he put into making sure that this effort eventually became successful. We also want to thank the team at Discover Green Bay, led by Brad Toll. Their work with the hotels and other venues has been really invaluable. And that's going to continue to be an awful lot of work. And they really are going to be a key part of this process going forward over the next couple years. We're also appreciative of the local governments, local communities, particularly obviously Green Bay, Ashwaubenon, and Brown County. It's great to see the representatives here today. They will all be integral in terms of putting on the event, from public safety to public works to many other pieces that are really needed to host an event of this size. We really would be remiss if I didn't also give thanks to the league office. Obviously, Commissioner Roger Goodell. Special mention, though, also to Peter O'Reilly, who within the league office, who oversees all the major events, and is kind of leads the league's major events committee, for having confidence in the Packers and in Green Bay to hold a first-class event. I know he's really excited. He's going to be spending a lot of time in Green Bay over the next 2 years, and looking forward to that, but really excited and appreciative of their support. Aaron mentioned the Stadium District Board. Obviously, we work closely with them. Really excited to bring concerts here and college football games, and this really takes it to another level. And I'll talk a little bit about that in a second. And obviously at the state level, both Governor Evers and members of the legislature have been very supportive of the effort to land the draft. We know the work is underway as we speak on the state budget, and we are hopeful that the state will partner with us on supporting this event. We also have state leaders. We hope and we know that they recognize the tremendous opportunity the draft presents to showcase not only Green Bay, but the entire state in a number of different ways. The state support will allow us to maximize the benefit of the event. I'd also like to thank our area representatives who are here today. David Steffen, I know he's here, and Senator Rob Coles. I don't know if Rob was able to make it, but both of them have been very supportive. We've been working on this for a number of years. Really, when the league first, I think most of you know, the league held the draft in New York City for like 40 years. It was Radio City Music Hall, and I don't know if it was Peter O'Reilly, but had the great idea, let's treat it like the Super Bowl. We'll move it around the league. And with a focus on communities that probably would never be able to host a Super Bowl, and had two years in a row in Chicago. And that's really when we started the effort in about 2016. Really kind of looked at it and put a bid in to host a 2019 draft. And so you can see from 2016, we have been very persistent, and credit goes to so many different people within the organization. But Aaron Popke and Brad Toll believe it was in 2017 when they first attended a draft. You've been to many others since then to see exactly what it takes for a community to host a draft. So they've been really great. Since then, we have committed many more people as well as resources to build out our plan. The other thing I would mention, you think back to 2016, there was no title town, and that'll be integral to hosting the draft. There also was no Rush Expo, which is perfect for hosting a draft. And then Brad and I were talking earlier, the Visitors and Convention Bureau will be done and up and running. It's going to be spectacular. So those things are all part of what got us to a point now where we can say that we will host a draft and we'll be able to do an outstanding job with it. And there's many great things about Green Bay. I think one of the things we're really going to focus on and distinguishes us from all the other cities is our history and tradition and the connection between the city and the fans and our team. The draft it's the biggest and the most popular NFL event outside of the football season, and brings fans together to celebrate their favorite teams, experience the newest players being selected, and then all helps build excitement for the season. What I've always said about the draft and the popularity and the growth of it is phenomenal over the last 10 to 15 years. To me, it brings together the very best of college football and the NFL. So college fans want to see where their favorite players are going. NFL fans want to see where the best players are coming, and it's really become a major media event. One of the things we're really excited about, we all know the passion that our fans have and how unique that is. I think that's going to really show the whole nation exactly how passionate our fans are. And we see it not only at Lambeau Field, but the way our fans travel. And I am anticipating the atmosphere for the draft in 2025 with our fans there, and fans from NFL teams and fans of NFL teams across the league, but it's really going to be exciting. And I know that they'll bring that energy, and that'll really make it a really special event. The event itself is expected to attract, we anticipate it'll attract almost 250,000 fans to Green Bay and the entire state of Wisconsin, and create an economic impact of over $94 million. To put that in perspective, one home Packer game is about $15 million, so it's more than 6 times the impact of a normal home game. Of the $94 million, that's statewide. $20 million will be here in Green Bay, so you can see it's really going to benefit the entire state. On TV, more than 54 million people will be watching, so it's. We say it's like a 2-year infomercial or commercial highlighting all the benefits of Green Bay and Wisconsin, and really, really excited about it. It's really just, it's a very rare opportunity for the state of Wisconsin to be on a world stage like this, and it's really, really excited to bring it forward. The business development opportunities around and during the draft will showcase the many opportunities we have for talent and business investment. We will obviously also highlight that we are the best place, #1 place in the United States to live, right here in Green Bay, Wisconsin. And I've heard from a lot of people across the league that question that. And they obviously didn't take those votes in the winter. But we all know what a special place Green Bay is. You know, all of us involved already feel we're building an experience that is bigger than ourselves. This is something that we're going to leave for this community. It'll be part of the legacy of the Packers organization and the Green Bay community. And it is an incredible once-in-a-generation opportunity that will create a lasting legacy for Wisconsin. It will be exciting, and it's an awful lot of work. As we've talked about, we have less than 2 years, but we're ready to get started, and really excited about the opportunity we have ahead of us. With that, I'll turn it back over to Aaron. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. We are all excited, as we mentioned. And next up, who is leading our effort in putting our team together and all the logistics that will come. She's got everything figured out already. So I was a little remiss when I said we don't know all the details yet. She knows. So we can ask her later. I'm just kidding. But Gabrielle Dow, Vice President of Marketing and Fan Engagement for the Packers. Gabrielle.
Good morning. Thank you for coming, and sorry I have a cold. It's been a crazy 2 weeks. Mark called me on May 9th to say, we got it, but we have to wait for the ownership to vote. And my life flashed before my eyes for the next 2 years. So that's where I think the cold came from. I will echo Mark's statements and say that we couldn't be more excited for the city of Green Bay and the state of Wisconsin. I want to share a little bit of the backstory of the draft and how we got here. And as Mark said, from about 2016 to 2018, we lightly expressed our interest in hosting, but we really didn't get serious until 2019. In the spring of 2019, we reached out to Discover Green Bay, and we looped you in, and we met Brad Toll and his team in person. And along with Aaron Popke and Candy Goltz and Julie Leung at the time and myself, we formed our local organizing committee. Thus, the Packers, from what the NFL has told us, we are the first NFL team to drive the draft bid process with the league. So due to the small nature of our community and our city, Mark knew that we could help Brad and our local community and state get this here. So he was all on board. And then in January of 2020, we were ready to submit this bid for 22. However, the NFL told us that 22 was going to Vegas because COVID. So Vegas was supposed to host the draft in 2020 and then moved to 22 due to COVID. So then we submitted a bid for 24 and expressed our interest in 25. And the draft said, nope, 24 is going to Detroit and 25 is off the table. Okay, so we set our focus on 27. And then in January, we get a call from the league and said, nope, 25 is back on board. So we furiously called Brad, Beth, and Cameron and said, hey, revise those contracts. And they came to the table, and then with the addition of help from Megan Robertson and Aaron Popke and Candy, here we are today. So we couldn't be more grateful for your partnership and all your hard work behind the scenes. So thank you so much, Brad and team. Over the next 2 years, our local organizing committee will work to promote and showcase this great state of Wisconsin with the goal of getting fans across the United States and the world to come visit Wisconsin for our 2025 draft. Whether you visit Wisconsin because of the draft, or you're checking your bucket list off and visiting Lambeau Field, or you're turning the draft into a family vacation or even a business trip, together with our friends from various visitor centers across the state, and along with the Wisconsin Tourist Department, the Green Bay Packers, Discover Green Bay, and our friends over there with the Resch and Expo and Resch Arena, we will together ensure that all are welcome to our great state, and that your time with us during the 2025 draft will be a lifetime memory. So now the work begins. The NFL will be here next month.
A lot of thank yous, but a lot of people behind this effort to bring the 2025 NFL draft to Lambeau Field.
The thank yous come because of that. We are hearing from now, where you see this woman right here. This is the VP of Marketing and Fan Engagement. We heard from the president. Of course, we'll have much more because Lance Allen and Julia Fellow are there at Lambeau Field.
But you can stay tuned right now. The Morning Blend right after this.